Hey there, Capricorn. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Madeline, if we haven't met before, and if you're back, an extra warm welcome and happy holidays to you, Capricorn. Whether you celebrate, whatever you celebrate, I am just sending you a little bit of extra warmth and goodwill, and want to bring you a collective message from Spirit, and then a channeled message especially for you. So the collective message from Spirit this month, which actually has a little sprinkling to do with your channeled message, is to remember that there's a lot of collective magic happening around sudden miracles, especially when it comes to being generous, being kind, goodwill toward humankind, that sort of thing. And if you are wishing for something to change, wishing for something to move forward, wishing for something to grow, whatever it may be for you, wishing for something to change, whatever it might be, it's time to invoke a little bit of that childlike spirit. And now we're moving into your channeled message, Capricorn. Like I said, it has a lot they braid together very beautifully. And I don't know if you saw last month's reading about Marie Kondoing your soul, but it was funny because the message that Spirit brought through very much follows that, which is, it's time for a little more fun. It's time to bring in a little bit of that childlike energy. There's a lot of energy going on in the sign of Capricorn right now. So if you are, say, a Capricorn sun, or, if you're a Capricorn rising, it's a lot of stuff packed into your first house. Whether even including your moon, good Lord, it's going to stir up emotions. It's going to stir up the need, the desire to achieve, because that is such a Capricornian thing. And here is what's coming through for you, Capricorn. There is a fuck ton, that's a technical term, there's a fuck ton of potential for your, I'm feeling, and I mean this makes sense, right, Earth sign, for your financial and career growth. But ironically, a huge key to that growth is to have a little bit of fucking fun, to program a little bit of playtime in. And for those of you who might have been straying too far on the other side of, yeah, I've been fucking around and I actually need to get to work, again, it's the same idea of programming it in so that you have something fun to look forward to. Or if you're doing something, that you make sure that you build in like a little bit of listen, Capricorn, if you don't fucking give yourself credit for the work that you're doing, that includes just showing up and trying, then who the fuck else is going to, and how can we expect them to? As within, so without. So Capricorn, some of you might have been doing yourself a disservice of just cracking the whip and never fucking giving the carrot. You know what I mean? Like, actually, I have my own reservations and restrictions about how cracking a whip should go on any creature. It's not the best motivator, okay? You need to have a little fun. You need to congratulate yourself and think of where you are in relation to where you've been rather than where you're trying to go, because you will always have stratospheric expectations, and that is a good thing. I mean, only those of us with stratospheric expectations are ever going to even like remotely approach that, right? But when it starts feeling like a whip crack, rather than, being inside the chariot itself and feeling like, wow, I can see where this is going, give yourself a little bit more fun. Give yourself a little bit more joy. We hopefully cleared some things out and are continuing to clear some things out as we get ready for your solar return. Happy birthday, by the way, to my December Capricorns. And get yourself ready for that. Yes, the new year, the typical Gregorian calendar new year is coming, but so is your personal new year when it is the time to invest in yourself. And that's something that I'm hearing too. All right, they're ready to get into your cards. I'm expecting to see some mad pentacles. I'm expecting to see hopefully some good fun. Let's see, Capricorn, are you ready to do it? Ready to do it in December? There's only one fucking card for fun in the deck. Like, literally fun is one of the keywords if you were to just Google the Three of Cups. They've got some other messages with that for you, but Spirit always comes in good and clear. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. God, you don't give yourself enough goddamn credit, Capricorn. But you probably know that. You're probably chuckling to yourself. But you could be fucking shooting yourself in the foot by being impatient and by cutting yourself off from the joy. Shit. What is life worth if we're not having, like, some fun along the journey? I know that life is hard. I fucking have some Capricorn placements myself. So I'm not trying to brush it over. But goddamn. You're making some wishes come true this month, and I'm fucking hearing that loud and clear. And Capricorn, don't make me pull this car over and come back there. You fucking congratulate yourself. You have done a lot. Here's you, Queen of fucking Pentacles. Wherever you consider yourself on the gender spectrum, a queen is a creator and a cultivator, and a Queen of Pentacles, she cultivates wealth. She cultivates status. She cultivates all sorts of resources. I feel like some of you are in deep, deep, deep self-reflection this month, which makes sense. A lot of 12th house, like we talked about last month, energy right before everything moves into that first house for Capricorn. And a lot of unconscious desires and drives are going to come up this month. That's what I'm hearing. The moon is crossing that 3 of Cups. And like, you know, Capricorn, that dipping into your kind of like emotional side is murky for you. There's a lot there. It's not where you feel safe. That's kind of what I'm hearing. But there are treasures there. And yes, it does require okay. Spirit has some things to say here. You have 4 9s in your reading, okay? The moon card is number 18. It boils down to the 9 in numerology. Like I said, facing yourself, removing of a mask, seeing what is useful about the mask and seeing what's not useful about it anymore. Some of you are doing shadow work. And look at the rest of these 9s. 9 of Wands, 9 of Cups, 9 of Swords. Facing yourself is not always easy. It requires vigilance. It requires endurance, both of which you have in spades. But it does also mean facing fears. Shit. Transcending fears. Facing nightmares. Feeling sometimes paralyzed by how much we want something. That's what they just said. Here's the good news is Spirit is giving you kind of a simple antidote, which is do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. I know. That's very simple, and it also resonates with, hey, goodwill toward humankind, etc. But that 6 of Pentacles is what it is saying. Give of what you have, and you're going to be receiving as well. Like, I guarantee it. This isn't about, and I do want to make a distinction here, Capricorn. Some of you might have Cancer placements. Spirit is saying this doesn't mean martyring yourself. This doesn't mean pouring out and pouring out and pouring out your energy into things that don't get back to you. No. There are cards for that. That is not what this is. This person, this beautiful fairy creature is nurturing something, and this thing is ultimately going to grow and grow and give back. So this also means sowing your career seeds, sowing your work seeds. You're really putting something together that could be quite long lasting. I mean, legacy building, that's what they just said. And with that Queen of freaking Pentacles, like, some of you are even, and this is like pretty specific, but some of you are like, I'm planning my retirement already. Like, I want to be, where's my safety net? That's what they're saying. Some of you are really, like, your money is on your mind as we move into a whole new decade. And as long as you fucking get your mind right, that's a good thing. But if your mind is here, that is not going to help you make progress. You have an ally, Capricorn. I feel like this card comes up for you guys a lot as an ally. Here's the King of Cups. Some of you, this could be a therapist. This could be just a dear, compassionate friend. This could be a bit of a mentor in your life in one way or another. Could be a partner for some of you. These are general readings, Capricorn, so I'm getting a few things. The King of Cups is a healer in a few ways. One of those ways is, this is just how Spirit is putting it, they can bear witness to you and not feel freaked out, not feel triggered themselves by maybe like how ambitious or how much you want or how in your head you might be at times. This person can help you work through some of those feelings, and I kind of feel like help you avoid unhelpful thought spirals. That's the phrase they're giving me with this, and this is where you find yourself. Okay? So here's the center of the reading. Here's where you find yourself. Like, what a contrasting image this is. Share your burden. Share this with the King of Cups, okay? And I would advise you not to share it with the Page of Swords. I'm feeling kind of a childish energy around you, Capricorn. This is going to be different figures for different Capricorns, but here's how you're going to know them. You can't rely on them. They move with their mood. And not in a cuppy way, but in a Page of Swords way, in the way of, I'm not mature enough to handle necessarily all of my thoughts, certainly not my feelings. And I'm not trying to denigrate anybody or mock anybody, okay? This is just what they're giving me with this Page of Swords for your reading. It feels like there is a conversation coming up with this person, or maybe like a State of the Union is kind of the phrase that Spirit is giving me for some of you. This could be a partner for some of you. This could be a boss. This is somebody who, though, like I said, you feel kind of like, the Spirit just said, at the mercy of their whims. So this is somebody who's important in your life in like whatever way. They're influential. I want to pull one more card here. Because I feel like you're stating your truth. You're getting clear about something. And I really like that. So we're not pulling a clarifier because I don't like how this is going. I want to know what's on the other side of this declaration. Wow, somebody, yes. Okay, here's what I'm hearing. You need to make your declaration. You need to speak your truth. You're coming to a crossroads with this person where, like, let's have a conversation. What's the state of the union? What do we think we want? You are kind of eyeing something, a broader horizon, Capricorn. And that doesn't have to mean, for example, if this is your partner, that you're like, I'm thinking about getting out. Maybe some of you are. But some of you might just be like, what kind of relationship do I want? We're upgrading or we're changing, we're growing together. For some of you, it could be having the State of the Union with your supervisor. Maybe your yearly, your yearly review is coming up or something like that. And it's like, where do you see yourself? And where do you see me? And da-da-da-da-da. And you might have to state it like, hey, I need this much money. Or, hey, partner, I need this from you or that from you. Or I need not to have this or that from you. Whether or not you get what you want in the immediate future, because I do feel like somebody is kind of Four of Pentacles, somebody is hoarding. And remember, Capricorn, it's important that this energy, since these are general readings, it can kind of go back and forth. Like, make sure you're not the one that's hoarding. Make sure you're not the one who's reacting to somebody's statement of truth with like, well, fuck you then. That would be the wrong attitude to take. That would be mirroring the Page of Swords. You need to stay grounded in your Queen of Pentacles-ness, and that if you don't like an association with somebody, it's like, then we need to close down that association. We don't need to now apply a worldview based on that association. Does that make sense? You can do that sometimes, Capricorn, because you like want to be like, I learned something and now I'm never going to fucking deal with that again. Very efficient of you, but sometimes you can be a little too efficient, and that is something that the Page of Swords is. So remember that relationships are mirrors, and Spirit's not judging you. Neither are they judging this Page of Swords. Like, they're just saying you're going to come up against somebody immature, and they might bring out or threaten to bring out a little bit of pettiness in you. And instead, what follows that is the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so on the other side of that 4, ultimately, Capricorn, you can have what you want, but it's got to be on your terms. And that's not about being fucking selfish. That's not about cutting people off. That is to say that if the result of your State of the Union is, well, I'm not going to give you more money, or, well, I don't want a commitment, or whatever this is with the relationship. Okay, well then, I'm going to get it for myself. I'm going to give it to myself. And you absolutely 100% can. You are the Queen of Pentacles. Of course you can have the Ten of Pentacles. Of course you can. Ten of Pentacles is long-lasting wealth. It is, I feel, they're saying safe and happy in my home. Some of you might be buying a home or moving into a new one, or maybe just investing in it in some way. I feel like you should be invested in growth. Sometimes it's about being staid and steady and being where you are. Right now I'm feeling expansion, 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 and it's coming through demonstrating your gifts, sharing your talents, facing yourself, and having fun. You can have fun while facing yourself. I'm going to give you a little message that I think came through for Cancer. And like I said, I feel some of you have Cancer placements, but whether or not you do, Capricorn, this is something that's coming through for you, is delight in where you find yourself getting stuck. Not just this month, but all the time. Why? What do I mean? Like, ugh, I'm feeling envious of this person, or ugh, I hate my job. Like, every time I walk in, I just fucking hate this. When I say delight in getting stuck, I'm not asking you to plaster a smile on your face over bad thoughts. Quite the opposite. I'm asking you to, like, validate that and be like, okay, cool. Like, what is this for? What is this good for? What can I make out of this? Because that's your fucking specialty, Capricorn. We put me in the hard terrain in the mountains. I'm a fucking mountain goat, bitch. Like, the fucking elements don't scare me. The heights don't scare me. I can do the heights. The depths are a little fucking scary. That's a little bit frightening for me. But with a little help from my friends, with a little help from my King of Cups, some of you may be putting your heads together on group projects. That has been something that's been coming across in a lot of the readings, and it's really cool to be doing readings for all the signs, because sometimes there are sort of universal, seemingly like timed messages across different decks, across different days, and teamwork makes the dream work is one that has been coming through for the majority of signs, and you are now included in that putting your heads together with people with different talents. Hello, Queen of Pentacles, King of Cups. You guys don't have the same energy, but it is a beautiful blend, water and earth. And a blend is exactly what you want. Stay on path and stay vigilant. I want to tell you that you've already come quite far, Capricorn, and that you do have further to go. It looks fruitful. It looks financially fucking promising. It is a journey, and it isn't always easy. But it is illuminating, and it is truly beginning to become a reflection of your desires. If you really think about it, they're telling me, you can see the ways in your life, even if you just maybe look back a year, if you look back 2 years, and look at what you have going on right now and think about, wow, that at one time was a wish that I hadn't yet fulfilled, and now I can say this about myself and it's true. Delight in that too. A lot of delight and fun that you're supposed to have this month, Capricorn, and I hope that you do. And I hope that this helps you delight a little bit and fucking bring some things to light. Let's put our heads together, Capricorn. What's going on? Questions, comments, stories to share. It really helps beyond just I appreciate your thoughtful, considerate comments. It also really helps to hear how this is manifesting or not for you, because it helps me get to know the cards better, get better with my craft, read them a little deeper. So I appreciate those of you that do that. Wishing you tons of love, especially tons of fun and blessings this holiday season, Capricorn. Thank you for being here. I hope it helps. And if I don't see you before then I hope I see you in the Happy New Year. Bye, Capricorn.